Almost everybody I see has some kind of issues with the knee, especially when the older folks, sometimes our aunties, our mothers. So we see a lot of people suffering from knee pain. Probably there are millions. And so we're going to talk about these. Now, I had knee pain also last time. I remember when I first started doing yoga, I had terrible knee pain. And when we were doing the Powered Muktasana series, when I was doing one of the joint exercises, my knee actually made a loud sound. So it was that bad. I suffered for more than 3 months before I found yoga. I joined yoga and then I started doing yoga. And the knee pain disappeared. It just disappeared by itself in a few weeks' time. So I was wondering whether, because I know like my mother, my auntie, and all, they have suffered knee pain for more than years. Lots of people I know, they suffered knee pain for many, many years. And then uh, I was like wondering, wow, how can this happen? In a few weeks' time, the knee pain can go. So now I saw how some of the yoga practitioners, all of them, they had knee pain and they were able to handle it. And one such person is Jackie. So amazing. Her story of how she healed her knee is very amazing. So our speaker today, we have Jackie, who's going to speak first. Now she is a ex-staff nurse, and right now she is a full-time yoga instructor, and she's a very wonderful speaker. Okay, so we've had her speak in our talk show before, and she's extremely interesting because she goes very detailed, and she helps you helps us understand the issue in a very scientific way, and also how she's going to share how she healed her knee issue, and how and every one of us, we can do something. What can we do to help our knee become stronger and healthier?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me in the talk show today to talk about my experience on my knee. Okay. So I am Jackie. And as Vijaya said, I was a nurse before. I was a staff registered nurse. I worked in the government hospitals. And then I took up yoga and I teach yoga now. I got yoga in my life at 40 years old and now I'm 59. So I never got injured in that 18, 19 years of practice. So last year, I was 58 years old, and this happened somewhere in July last year. Uh, I don't know what I did. I cannot tell you that it's yoga that caused it. I must have done something, and then there was a swelling in my knee. And I tried everything. You'll definitely reach to a certain pose. You'll do the pose because you're a yoga practitioner. Try to relieve, the swelling, or you're in denial that it can happen to you. I mean, I'm a yoga practitioner. My knees must be pretty strong, and how is this happening? I'm worried. So what happened was I went to see a doctor, and the doctor took an x-ray, did an MRI actually, and they found there was a tear. There was a tear in the meniscus, my left leg, my left knee, and also in the ACL. So that's part of the knee. Okay, he told me you'll have to go for PRP. PRP is taking your plasma and then injecting the plasma into you, hoping that it will form better cells for your knee. So I said, I need to think about this. And he discouraged me about doing yoga. He said, he's an Indian doctor from India. And he said, I don't like yoga. Yoga is something that will harm you. I was quite annoyed in the clinic, and I told myself that all the more I need to go back and get myself sorted out my yogic way, my Ayurvedic way. So what I did was I of course cried a lot because I didn't know what I was going to do with my students, how am I to teach, what's my future like in yoga anymore? What's my knee going to do? How am I going to cope with this? Something I did not expect at all to happen to me. So immediately I called Master Manisegaran and I cried. And I told him, I said, this has happened. Then he said, not to fear, just follow what I tell you. The body bath, the body oil, apply it, okay, make it into a paste, put some coconut oil, put some turmeric powder, organic turmeric powder, make it into a paste and plaster it at your knee, the back of the knee, around the knee, bandage it and go to sleep. You can do it 3 times a day, Jackie, he said. I thought 3 times is just too much because nobody to help me at home. It was really excruciating pain and there was swelling. So I had to wait for my daughter to come back from college to tie the bandage for me. So I could only do it once. So I had faith in it. I had faith in him and I had faith in myself. So I did it. And the next morning, you will be surprised, the swelling disappeared and the pain reduced by 50%. I was able to put my leg on the floor and then I did it twice a day. I was able to do it by myself. So I went on like this for about just 3 days. Master Mani told me to do it for 2 weeks, but I just did it for 3 days and it just got better. And he told me also take the capsules, the muscle and the joint capsules, take 4, Jackie, a day. And I followed whatever he said because I respect him and I know that he will do the best for us. And he said, so and so also had a worse injury than you. It was a worse tear and he did it and he's got better. So you will get better. And he said also, just get into the yoga room and teach. So you know what I did? I wore a pair of shorts because my leg had to be exposed with a bandage. And I went like that and I taught my students. I wanted my students to be part of my healing journey. They had to know me even at my worst. And there I was teaching, putting it on the bandage, and I healed. And I went back to the basic poses because I couldn't do anything else. So what I did was I just went back to the simplest of the simple poses. And it healed. So this is how I did. This is how I did the treatment. I think we'll put that video on about how I applied the bath body powder onto my knee. Yeah, this is what happened. Maybe you want to observe and see. It's my daughter putting it out for me. I never stinged on it at all. I used it sparingly a lot and amazingly, I could feel the next day I could bend my knee. And you know what? I never took painkiller. Being a yogi, I'm against all this kind of medication. So I said, no medications for me. Truly, it started to heal. My favorite pose was just stretching my leg and sitting in Paschimottanasana. I didn't do much. Yeah, I was talking to my students and my daughter was applying this. So I was just myself with the students. I wanted them to know how important it is to take care of yourself at all times. You see, bones, our knee, whatever it is, knee or bones or joints. Okay, this is the picture of the knee. You need to know what is the knee all about. The knee consists of the femur, which is the quadricep, the biggest bone, the longest bone in our body, which is the femur, and in between the femur and the bottom bone, which is the tibia, sits the knee, the patella. So do you understand the picture out here, the diagram? You need to know that the upper body, the hip and the upper body, okay, is sitting really on this patella. And how small is that patella? You know, so it's a weight-bearing joint. Our knee is a weight-bearing joint. So what is that? What comes to your mind when I say weight-bearing? It's so small and it's bearing our weight. So I think number one is, at all times we should learn to be very light. Okay, we don't only start taking care of our knee and joints when you confront a problem. Like at 58, fortunately I was light. So the healing took off very well because I was not bearing too much of weight on my knee. So my first thing that I want to remind all of us is, every day is not going to be like yesterday. You don't know what can happen to you. So we need to take care of our joints, of our body at all times. And especially when I was reaching menopause, anything could have gone wrong. According to the physiotherapists, even if you were dehydrated, sometimes, not knowing, a tear can happen in your joint if you move it extensively. Thinking that, oh, I did it yesterday when I was 55, and why am I having this now at 58? Anything can happen. So this lesson taught me to be prepared at all times. So how to prepare yourself at all times to take care of this joint, particularly? Number one is to love yourself, to give a lot of time for yourself, to know each name of the joints and the bones in your body that you have. It's not just the heart that we should worry about. It's not just the brain, or it's not just the lungs or our pancreas or our liver that we are familiar with. We need to be familiar with every part of our joints too, because each joint needs movements, needs nourishment, needs proper movement, proper joint care for us to be happy, to move with dignity. The spine is also a bone. So for the spine, for us to wake up in the morning in dignity, the joints need to be really taken care of. So how do you take care of your joints? For me, number one is movements. You need to definitely move the joints every day of your life. Okay, there is no holiday, because joints, if not used, they think you're dead. They think that something's wrong with my master. So I really don't need to move because I think she's not alive. So to avoid that, you need to move, and you need to move in an order. You need to satisfy the joint. If the joint is a joint that needs to move 360 degrees, you need to move it. You need to satisfy the joint's needs. So the movements has to be practiced, has to be planned, the joint has to be nourished and made strong. So there are strengthening exercises in yoga, and there are movements with the asanas together with the breath that enables us to be in a system of flow. The knee needs that, and every other joint needs that. Food. Food for me is so important because food reaches your soul. So this food is used by our joints to fill up the calcium and the minerals in the bones. Okay, and what kind of food should we eat is a question. There are foods that you should eat, and there are foods that you shouldn't eat. Let me start with the positive, the foods that you should eat. The problem starts when we are not consistent. Most of us are busy at work. We deny the body of the food. Every meal is a celebration. Every meal has to be planned. You have to have, definitely, as we age, especially when you reach menopause, right? Because the bone, the muscle mass, the muscle that surrounds the joints, after the age of 30, every decade, that means every 10 years, 8% of your muscle mass drops. So by the time you reach 50, you've already lost about 30%. Okay, after 30, about there. So 30% is a lot for a muscle, the muscle mass, if you didn't take care to lessen. Why? Because the muscle holds the joints. If your muscle is not fed well, if the muscle is not growing but it's atrophy, it's becoming smaller. That's why you see some people, their legs, one leg is smaller than the other because of the muscle loss. So your chance to rectify that is only during your meal time. So your meal must have a substantial amount of protein. If you're a vegetarian, the vegetarian kind of protein. If not, of course, non-veg protein. As big as your palm size must be there at every meal. You have 3 meals, you must have 3 types of protein. Okay, then you have half the plate being vegetables. At least half of that half plate needs to be raw, because raw foods have got more enzyme and your body needs that to build. Then you need the oil. The movements create synovial fluid in between two joints that rub, right? Like the knee. You have the femur, you have the patella, and then you have the tibula. So the center needs to be lubricated for it to not rub and dry and cause friction. Friction causes pain, and it's excruciating pain. Okay, so I didn't even suffer that pain, and that was already painful for me. Okay, so what else must be on your plate? That's about it. And very good carbohydrate. Carbohydrate means you need to taste different kinds of carbs every day. Your body needs a diversity of food to heal your gut bacteria, to help your gut bacteria to keep your body healthy. So you cannot rely on just, all right, today breakfast I will just eat one gardenia bun, or I'll just eat 2 pieces of white bread with some jam and butter in it. It's definitely not enough. Okay? Or when it comes to lunch, I'll just pick up a burger or some, chicken rice. In chicken rice, there's only 2 cucumber. So it's definitely not a proper meal. And then comes your dinner. At dinner, I'll just have the leftovers because my children need to eat more than me. They are growing children. That's where we ladies make the mistake. So we need more than them. Make yourself important. I, me, and myself for once. We always want to give more to others than ourselves. But as you're aging, please remember what I say. Fortunately, I always took care of myself. I always felt like if I took care of myself, then I can take care of the people around me. That's my family and society. Okay, so I was selfish all the time, and I'm glad I am selfish for the right reasons. We all must be selfish for the right reasons. Prioritize yourself, me, myself, and I first. Okay, so I always make sure my meals are in this order. I purposely took some pictures so that I can show you. Okay, as you can see, this is vegetarian. This day was my vegetarian day. So what I had was a variety of colors. Number one is colors. I make sure I start my food with herbs, like Master Mani says, herbs and spices and oil. Herbs, you can see I have homegrown basil there, right? And then I have kandundong plucked from my garden. I pickle them to, to give a chance for my microbiomes to be happy. K2, the vitamin called K2, can be found in fermented food. I eat a lot of fermented food. And you can see next to the kandundo, I fermented bitter gourd. I followed the Korean style. I put gochujang and gochugaru, which is they are kind of a paste, and I pickle them. And then next to that is the tofu. And on top of the tofu, I grated some cheese. And you can see black specks. Those are sesame seeds, which give me so much of protein and oil. Just eating the tofu is not enough. Then I have a separate dish after the tofu, which is salads, which is carrots and cucumbers and ginger and garlic, which I also just stir fried. And then tempeh. The tofu is not enough. If you're thinking 2 pieces or 3 pieces of tofu is enough, it isn't enough. I have tempeh, which is all vegetarian. And I have another thing in the center there, the green thing like that, like a ball, that is my carbohydrate. It's made of quinoa and smashed tofu and a lot of green vegetables steamed and blended. So can you see it's a big preparation of meal, and this is how my meal is all the time. Because teeth is also bones. I want my teeth to be there. So I want to nourish myself with the best, which is cheap, which is not expensive. I never go for expensive food. I try to manage with nature, what nature has given me. Most of it on my plate there is nature. So that's about food. The food that you should eat is like this: green leaves, okay, a lot of protein, good protein. If you're non-veg, you can take eggs because eggs has a lot of vitamin D. Vitamin D you can get from the sun by just sitting in the sun. When the sun comes out in the morning, please rush and go and say hello to sun. And if you can do a round of Surya Namaskar, that will be amazing. Because vitamin D you must have for building bone in our body. All right? You have to have vitamin D and vitamin K to allow absorption of calcium, to avoid osteoporosis, to delay arthritis or never get arthritis or osteopenia. Okay? Osteoporosis, what is osteoporosis and what is osteopenia? Osteoporosis is porous. That means the bone inside has not enough calcium. What is osteopenia? Anybody? Osteopenia is muscle mass decreasing. two different things. The moment you are 10 years before your menopause, if let's say you're getting menopause at 50, 40 plus itself, you have to start worrying about all this. You can't wait for menopause to come. You have to be in this system from the very beginning. Okay? So I sit a lot in the sun. I enjoy morning. I get up, I sit, I listen to the birds singing, I sweep my garden, I water the plants, I have my breakfast in the garden, I do my eye exercise, I do my yoga. I meet a lot with the sun. Okay? And maybe that was the reason also why, together with all that, I recovered in less than a week. That was fast progress. I recovered in less than a week. And of course, breath. Breath is so important because it's oxygen. Okay, it makes all the acidity in your body become more alkali. So it's not so harsh on the joints. It doesn't cause inflammation in your body. Inflammatory food that you should avoid is like sugar. Okay? Sugar was not meant for you to be eaten. Sugar was not made by God. Nature did not make sugar for us. Sugar, white sugar, table sugar is not made by God. Sugar can be derived from fruits. Nature gives you fruit. Okay? So sugar is definitely not to be taken. Soda pops, all this is man-made. Anything that comes in a package and it's got contents, it's got a label, the names that you don't recognize, there are 24 different names for sugar. Sucrose, fructose, so many things. They cheat you and make you buy it because it's sweet. Do not take it. Okay? You don't have to be old not to take it. You have to start not taking it even in your 20s and your 30s. Okay? You can eat natural sweeteners like dates. Soak your dates in water, squeeze it, and use it to make your food more sweeter if you like sweet. Even pomegranate, you can just put that over your porridge in the morning. All these are non-sweetening effects. Every time your sugar spikes, elevation of sugar, insulin spikes, you are nearer to having muscle muscle mass decrease, and also pain and joint aches, especially in your knee. So you need to be very serious about not eating too much of carbohydrate. Processed carbohydrate and raw sugar is definitely out. And all this alcohol and all these sweetened drinks, don't even look at them. Make your own anti-inflammatory drink. Okay, like what? Okay, ginger, all right, turmeric. Take some ginger, raw ginger, turmeric, all right, black pepper. You know, this black pepper and the turmeric is in that muscle care that I took religiously 4 times. 4 tablets once a day, 4 tablets. I took that for about a month, and that's in the muscle care. Okay, so turmeric is an amazing thing. Turmeric can even pass the brain barrier. It's allowed to go to the brain. It's one of the top anti-inflammatory food that the world recognizes. Okay, and if you're lazy to do it, just take the Mai products. That's the muscle care, the body bath, body oil, because none of us are so dedicated to our bodies that we will do it every day. Besides me, I think. I'm very dedicated. I do it. So the drink that I took, also the anti-inflammatory drink that I took, was the ginger, the turmeric, the black pepper. So the dosage is you can take like a knob of ginger, a knob of turmeric, okay? And black pepper, maybe 1 teaspoon, okay? Blend it all, okay? Pour water, boil it. Boil it, strain it, okay? And keep it in a bottle like a syrup, okay? When you want to drink it, pour in a glass how much you want, squeeze lemon and add on some hot water. Sit somewhere nice, preferably in the sun there in the morning or, you know, in the afternoon. Sip and enjoy and send it for the entire body. Imagine it flowing in your body, okay? Yellow, cleaning up all the mess that you've done, reducing the inflammation. Take your time and sip that drink. I cannot tell you how expensive this drink is for yourself. So that's anti-inflammatory food, definitely is vegetables, avocado, good oils, okay? So sesame seed, white sesame, black sesame, nuts. Do not take much of cashew and peanuts. Peanuts is a legume. It's not really so much of a nut. Go for things like sesame seeds, two types of sesame seeds. Go for things like almonds, okay, Brazil nuts. Yeah, there are many more nuts you can take. Anybody else for nuts? Anybody can share some nuts that you eat? Okay. And coconut oil that Master Money is selling, the one with turmeric, walnuts for the brain. You can take that also. If you cannot get these nuts every day, I just take a teaspoon of the turmeric, VCO turmeric and VCO cumin. It helps a lot in what shall I say, in lubricating the joints as well. So if you're a yoga practitioner, if you have reached menopause, it's too late. You have to start much earlier. You have to start at least at the age of 30. My daughter is 21 and she drinks it. And I cannot tell you how important. Yeah, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Yes, definitely. Okay. So it's so important to have your joints lubricated. Okay. Now, if your joints are healthier and you exercise, even at the age of menopause, okay, even your estrogen comes down, progesterone comes down when you have reached menopause, this is your backup. When you move your hips are the most flexible part of you. All right? That's just above the knee. All right? If your hips are healthy and they're flexible enough, okay, they produce estrogen and progesterone and good hormones for your body even after menopause. So movements are compulsory. I have an elderly lady. She's 85. We all call her Amma. She comes for chair yoga religiously every Saturday to my class. And the exercises that the women do, I think I have some slides that I would like to share with you. Yeah, you can see that movement. Okay, this is the shoulder. She's 85. Can you believe that? Not bad. Not bad. Okay. She swears by yoga. She comes every Saturday. And you saw the movements that I did for her. Just carrying your hand and all sometimes is not enough. Okay, people, they just walk, they just carry their hand. You must do the movement that your joint requires. If it's the knee, you must stretch, bend, and rotate your knee because your knee is a round joint. Your hip also is a round socket. The ball sits in a socket of the hip and it needs to rotate. So that Amma just now, what I did for her hand, I made her rotate her shoulder because our shoulder also can rotate. And at 85, initially it was hard for her. She also takes the coconut oil. She also takes the muscle care. And she takes Avram tea because she's a diabetic. And she has a wonderful testimonial that I took from her last time on how Avram tea has reduced her sugar level. And after the sugar level reduced, because the inflammation together reduces, her joint pains also reduced. So it's all hand in hand. The movements have to be correct. They have to satisfy each joint. Then you will see progress. Actually, you can see all this. This is my mother actually. The first one here is my mother. She's 81 years old. She has pain on her left shoulder. But every time when she comes for class, she goes back, she says she feels better. And sometimes she's lazy. So what I do is, older people need to be pushed a little bit. You need to phone them and get them to come for the class. Because sometimes laziness sets in all of us. And that's because of hormones. When you stay alone for too long, you forget to take care of yourself. And that is why you also need socializing. When you socialize, you have very good hormones spilling, like good hormones, serotonin. All right. So serotonin is very important for the well-being of you. When you are happy, you will want to move your joints, especially big joints. And one of them is your knee joint. When you are emotionally upset, you don't feel like meeting anyone. So you need to socialize. We need to understand that relationships with one another is like joints too. We join each other up with relationships just like our body joins each one of our limbs with joints. So don't keep too far from one another. Always meet up, be happy. Because when you're happy, you produce good hormones. When you're happy, you want to do more for yourself. And that's exactly what your joints want of you. And be in a consistent weight training. Now, at 59 this year, I do weight training, but my yogic way. I carry little dumbbells at home. I don't go to the gym. There are a lot of arm balancing exercises which I do with my yoga movements. In fact, I'm also starting to teach a group of older people how to use very light weights. Just fill up your mineral bottle with some water or the lightest weights, okay? And just lift using your own asanas. Plan a schedule of weight training, resistant training for the betterment of your joints, because we want to combat osteoporosis. We don't know when osteoporosis is setting until and when we do a bone density. Anytime you can walk into any hospital and do a bone density, it is only about 100 ringgit. It tells you how much muscle mass you have and if you're setting into osteoporosis or osteopenia. So that will be also a very good thing that you can do to combat osteoporosis or any knee problems. The knee problem sometimes starts not because of knee, it's way up. It's the tighter muscles, it's the tighter thoracic region, the chest region, the hip, the spine itself is so tight. Sometimes you are losing height. As we age, we lose 2 inches of our height. So you start to hunch. This also compresses the vertebrae and indirectly causes a lot of tightening at your knee joint. So that is why you must stretch. Okay, you must stretch, you must carry weights. You know, in yoga, we have Bakasana, we have a lot of arm exercises, arm weight bearing exercises. We have inversions, headstands, arm scorpion, Pincha Mayurasana, we have handstands. All these require a lot of leg, making your thighs strong to hold your knee in place. So keep the muscles in a resistant training effect with the yoga practice.
Thank you, Jackie. You explained so much, so well, so in detail. You know, when I was talking to Jackie, she mentioned that there are, the remedies are in abundance. There's so much of, so many ways that we can look into, home remedies, the herbs, the vitamins, the food that we take. There's lots of ways that we can overcome. It's just that sometimes maybe we are looking for very quick, instant Maggie me, instant Maggie me solutions, so that's why we like to go for painkillers. So instead of that, of course, if you have very bad injuries or something, yes, we need to go for medicines. But there's so many other ways that we can uh, take up, like the oilation, sesame oil, coconut oil, like what Jackie mentioned just now, and then the herbs, the joints and muscle care, full of black pepper, turmeric, ginger, all that. Okay. So, Jackie, thank you so much. And now let's hear it from Mona. She is going to share about how knee pain, you have knee issues. What can you do as a home remedy? Or if you go to come to our Ayurveda center, have a massage or do a vasti where you pour oil on the knee. So she's going to explain more about this. Now, Mona is somebody that most of us know because she's one of our master's long-time students. And she's also a very good yoga instructor. And she's a trainer for Ayurveda massage therapy, and also. Let's hear it from Mona.
Thank you, Vijaya. Thank you for the introductions and also thank you for inviting me for this talk. All right. Namaskar, everyone. How are you all? And yeah, I hope all of you are great. Again, also thanks to Jackie for sharing a lot of, knowledge. And I feel so glad that I learned a lot of things from you. Okay. Now, I'd like to share from my side. All right. Why knee is pain? As we see that a lot of sharing that given by our Jackie. Okay. On top of what she was telling, there's also I'd like to share something. Right. The knee pain may be a result of an injury. Okay, an injury such as a rupture, ligament, or torn cartilage. Right. And also medical conditions, including the arthritis, gout, or infections, osteoarthritis, right? Overweight, a lack of exercise. Now, these are the my some of it is of my own experience, some of it I get it from my students, right? So basically can see that the reason that we are having more pain is okay, maybe because of the lack of exercise. Okay, what as Jackie was sharing to us just now is exactly true. When we never do anything for our joints, the body will think that we are, the joints thinking that we are dead. Okay, it's very, very true. So we need to move it every day. Okay. Now, today I'm going to talk about a little bit of this synovial fluid. Just now we see the knee, right? So here, can you see this part? This is the synovial fluid. What is the function of this? Okay, here this is a very, very important as we are okay getting wiser and wiser, aging and all this. So what happened when there is too much of usage of our knees, our joints, it slowly reduces. Okay, the synovial fluid will reduce. When you reduce it, right, there's a lot of frictions will happen. A kind of, the more that you walk, the more that you feel a kind of pain. You feel not so comfortable. You feel like every time, like when you get up, like sometimes like you feel like there's a sound, a cracking sound. Okay, it's because of too much of friction. When there's too much of frictions and there's no enough of synovial fluid, it happens, right? It happens. So the importance of this synovial fluid is a function as a lubrication solutions, right? So basically when I noticed this, when first, if we are overused, okay, like we jog too much, we walk too much, everything extreme is not so good, right? So slowly this novel weight will reduce. So this I just like to share something personal experience, where my father used to have this pain extreme at the age of 75. Okay, at the age of 75. So when I brought to doctor, okay, he said, "Uncle, look here, uncle, you sudah tua. So what happened? This fluid already reduced, you see. So to do this, you just need to do two things. Okay, oh no, sorry, one thing, that is to put a jab. They put a jab, and as a doctor, I'm telling you, it only will last for 6 months. All right, and each jab, okay, each knee will cost 2005 each knee. So 5,000 for 6 months. So that's what the doctor was telling. So I'm frankly telling uncle, very honest. The doctor was so honest, it only will last for 6 months. So it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. So I thank the doctor. Thank you so much. Right, and then thank you for the explanation. My father had a very good clear picture. And then I told my father, don't worry, Appa. All right, don't worry. I have solutions for this. Okay, I have a solution for this. We will do the treatment tomorrow itself. Okay, so how to replace? Can we replace it with this novel fluid? Yes, this is what I did. So this is what I did. That is the treatments. We call it the Januvasti in Ayurveda. Okay, we make like a canal here, and then we insert this medicated oil in both knees. So this Januvasti therapy is remedies for the knee pain and the inflammations. And then improve the mobility of the knee joints, helps in the comfortable knee extension and the flexion. Right? This, what happened when I do for my father, just about 5 times. Okay, I did it for a week, for 5 times, continuously for 5 days. I did it. Yes, there's so much of difference. My father was like so happy. We were so scared that he couldn't walk or he couldn't go for cycling. At the age of 75, he's still cycling, huh? Right? Okay, so he's still cycling. So he was so happy that the knee is it's back to action. Okay, so back to action. So this was the therapy that I did for him. Okay, and then on top of that, okay, so you have to do a little bit of more precautions. Okay, if there is any injuries, okay, injuries or any too much of workout and all that have caused pain. Now you have to really, really take rest. Take rest. That means take break from the aggressive workout. Okay, at least about 3 to 6 months. I'm talking about the aggressive workout. Okay, you have to give it your break for yourself. Okay, and then you can, if you have an injury immediately within 24 hours, please do the ice pack. It really will reduce the pain and the inflammations. And then practice yoga as what Miss Jackie was sharing. Okay, best exercise is doing the joint exercises, the yoga joint exercise. I tell you, it's an amazing. It's an amazing. You can see a differences within weeks. Within weeks, you can see the differences. and then apply the oil, okay, the body oil, as what Miss Jackie was sharing with us. Massage it and paste from the Mai bud powder. So all these, it will help. Okay, it will help. And then other remedies. What else that we can do? Okay, we walk or stand over tiptoe and heel. So here, see, when we stand on a heel, we walk on a tiptoe, what happen? It strengthens the muscles of the calf muscles, your knees. Now, if you feel that not balanced, you always can place your hand on the wall, right, on the wall, and then you support. Okay, always be aware of what we are doing. All right, this is very important. Okay, so all these simple exercise, when we do it, okay, we can improve and improve our muscles. Okay, and then consume of omega-3, okay, which can get it from the flaxseed, chia seed, sesame, almonds, and walnuts. So all these good nuts will help us, to consume, to increase our omega-3, to lubricate better of the joints. And then also Miss Jackie also was telling that, consume the Mai joint and muscle capsules. Absolutely, it makes much more better. All right. So that's all from me, from my side and from my experience. So what I have done for my students and also for my family members. So with this, I would like to thank Vijaya for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, Vijaya, and thank you, everybody. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, Mona. Okay. Thank you for the wonderful sharing, especially about your father. Okay, I also had this encounter with this auntie. She was about 70 years old. She's supposed to go for knee operation. She suffered knee pain for a few years. Then she met someone who told her about yoga. So she started doing yoga, Surya Namaskar from the chair every day for 6 months. She did, and she said completely gone. The pain was completely gone. Her knee was strong, and she didn't have to go for operation. So now, Jackie and Mona, why do you think yoga is helping? Is it strengthening the muscles around the knees and all to make the knees more stronger? Why is yoga helpful?
You see, it's stimulating, all right? See, when you do yoga, it definitely is going to strengthen, all right? Now, another experience that I noticed from one of my another student, okay, she's at the age of 16. She's almost gave up. She almost gave up. She feel that the whole body is so weak. I told her, never ever give up. Okay, never ever give up. Let's do yoga. And I told her, just give yourself for 3 months. You can see a tremendous change. The person who was so weak, just doing yoga for 3 months, she's now like as if like as back to her 30s, 40s, the way that she walked, right? So see, yoga can do wonders, regenerating the entire system. So that's why yoga is so important in our life.
Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yes.
Please,
Can
Jackie.
I reinforce as to why yoga is definitely the answer to most of our problems? Actually, to all our problems, is because it aligns us. Most of the students that come at any age, most of them are coming with a misalignment. We have a center, that is the central nervous system. Okay, we have a spine at the back of the central nervous system. Okay, most of us are not in the center. We are either tilted more to the right or to the left. So that little fraction of tilt will definitely cause an imbalance in our joints, in the way we present ourselves, in the way we talk, in the way we think, because the spine is connected to your brain. So when we give them yoga, it's always we practice right, left, right? Why do you think right and left? To fetch the balance. So the balance will strike over the weeks of them coming every week once. In fact, in the first class itself, the first balance that most of the students fetch is they can sleep well when they go back after the first class. That's a balance. You know what I mean? It doesn't look a lot, but over time, it is a difference when you practice religiously, systematically, orderly, compared to a person who has never tasted yoga. I can vouch till the day I die. I definitely need yoga in my life to keep me aligned. Because there's a lot of exterior force nowadays with technology that can pull you away emotionally, mentally, and physically if you're not strong from the alignment. And that's where all the problem starts, especially emotional issues for youngsters these days. Even they complain of backache, knee ache, the leg ache. They can't finish even 1 hour of yoga. They're in pain, tired. Why do you think that's happening? Because they don't practice. So, for those who practice, the practice speaks to them. How does it speak to them? By giving you comforts and happiness and joy and good health. So, please don't even Google anymore and think again. I'm telling you correctly over this 20 years of experience of practicing and teaching, yoga is the answer. And Master Mani has brought all these herbs, they are even a bigger answer to your problems because you cannot go pluck murungakira every day, tumbuk the cumin or whatever. You are lazy. You can't do it. You'll only be for a little while hardworking. After that, you'll start back your nonsense. Most of us are like that. We are designed that way because we are busy. So the truth is, please enroll in a yoga class and get your body aligned. And then you will hear less of the noise from every joint and you can lead a better life.
Very, very well said, Jackie. Thank you so much. So we had such enlightening sharing from Jackie and also from Mona today. Both are very well-versed yoga instructors and they have been practicing for very long. So, okay. Hi. So, okay, Palisha has asked the question.
The question is, what is the difference of treatment between Jackie's and Janu Asti? Okay. Now, Jackie's treatment, okay, what was master was conducted is almost the same. Both also the same benefits of the outcome is the same benefits. Okay. The only thing different is Janu Asti, right? We putting more oil. Okay, we are soaking because when it absorbs through the skin. Okay, it absorbs to the skin and penetrates to the cartilage. It will be increasing the synovial, is a replacement of the synovial fluid. So that is the only difference. Other than that, the benefits is the same. Absolutely is the same. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. Okay, where do we get the products? Okay, here at our Mai Center. Do you know where is our Mai Center? It's in Bangsa. Thank you. Thank you, Palisha, for the question. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We had such a wonderful sharing. Okay, thank you, everybody. See you in our next talk session. Thank you to Mona and Jackie. Thank you so much.